informative, as you can see and set up. Second of which, piece of activity with Brighton and within the university context might be familiar with, like university as well. So that would be very interesting to look at. Then of course our last very much at the forefront of different ways to make it work. Biological alien influences. So the first session is the first piece this morning from the live audio archive. Now the text says towards extension of global ecoacoustic network to link and amplify local ecological projects. I think that's really interesting in the context again of Gillian Young's continuing exploration phase, internet everything in state. There are plenty of people like me who think that the internet things and internet space and internet everything could be a way that we can censor inputs from across the various kinds of environmental situations to make sense of that in real time. So I'm going to be very interested to see what you guys come up with right now. So Dawn Scar, Maria Papadomanolaki, and Grant Smith from SoundCamp UK. And over to you. We've got about 35 minutes now. Got an echo. That's pretty cool. I like an echo. 35 minutes of performance or whatever. Would you mind giving us a tiny bit of explanation or some sort of overview, if you feel that's necessary, or your launching performance?
No, I think that's great. Thank you very much. That's perfect. So I'm gonna say a couple of that back just for people on the broadcast. So welcome everybody to this presentation on the Live Audio Archive. The Live Audio Archive is what we call the kind of shifting pool of live audio online. So some of us are here. I'm Grant Smith.
I'm Dawn Scar.
And we're joined, just arrived yesterday night from South Korea by...
Hi, my name is Jiyeon Kim. I'm from South Korea.
And Gang Il Yi is keeping a low profile, but Jiyeon is representing him. And then remotely, can we check if people can hear? So for instance, we're joined by Daisuke from the Cyber Forest program at the University of Tokyo. Daisuke, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Daisuke Shimotoku from Cyber Forest program. Nice to see you.
Okay, that's great, Daisuke, thank you. We're just trying to get some levels adjusted between the different bits of the show. Welcome, thank you very much for joining at short notice. So we're also joined from Octopus Collective in Cumbria by Glenn Bolter and Andrew Deacon.
Hi there. Hi.
And I should say that the thing that links us is 3 years of collaborative practice with live audio streaming. And Maria Papadomanolaki is in Crete, keeping a low profile. And we think that Julia Drouin is in Tasmania. And maybe also the network connection in Sandflight, Tasmania is quite fragile. So we stick with Julia. And Sukanta Majumdar of the Traveling Archive is in Kolkata.
Hi.
Hey, Sukanta. So we're going to try with these bits of equipment to have a kind of conversation among ourselves and among some non-humans and places that are both here and elsewhere. So we want to focus on that, and I'm going to keep the intro very short. But so let me just say very briefly what we're talking about. So this collection or uncollected set of materials of audio stuff online in real time, we provisionally call the Live Audio Archive. It's from something along the lines of open microphones. Mainly, what we're referring to is not speech or organized sounds, not speech and music, which occupies 99.9% of airtime. And this leftover material, the in-betweens, if you like, more or less intentional, is typically changeable and transient. So a good example of that is the whales that we were listening to before. So those were listened to in London from hydrophones off the coast of Puaka, Hawaii in April, and those whales have now gone back to the Arctic, and that sea is now very quiet. Somebody's fallen over. Another example, which I'm not going to play, would be Tabushima Island off Japan, where there's a live stream that is often very quiet and still, and is sometimes crazily animated by streaked shearwaters, big ocean-going birds leaving their nests and squawking and honking and so forth. These sources there are quite various. So there are hydrophones, there are a series of microphones on the Locusona's open microphone network, coordinated in Aix-en-Provence and Bourges. There's a cluster of microphones at the Cyber Forest program at the University of Tokyo. There are webcams, that also some of which have interesting audio. Every year on International Dawn Chorus Day, which is the first week of May, we do a 24-hour broadcast. That is not, you can't see my screen, which is sad. Let me just see if I can do something about that. So it would be more sensible to see this. Okay, so Reveil is a broadcast that starts at 5 a.m. near the Greenwich Meridian and goes round the globe following the rising sun, tracking from one live microphone to the next. It's a kind of catalytic project that pulls together these nebulous resources, the Live Audio Archive. And I think that's a good place to stop. Okay, some pictures. These are pictures from a dozen SoundCamps around the world that happen during that 24-hour broadcast at the beginning of May, where people go out and investigate the acoustic ecology of particular places. And the key thing is that they send a stream to the internet, and they pull in streams and listen to them, closing a loop and forming a kind of transmission community. And these are some pictures from London, from the beach in Chicago, at Radius, in SoundCamp, Sound Art Radio in Dorset, in Estonia, where Dawn was, where Jion and Gangil were. Let me stop talking and invite Jion maybe to say something about what's now 2 years we've been sort of working together on kind of exploring this field, right? Thank you.
Can I use that laptop? Or, oh. Oh, yeah. Hello, my name is Suyeon Kim. I'm from Jeju Island, South Korea. Me and Kang Lee, we've been contributing for Reveil in 2014 and 15. And I used to only work with recorded materials, field recording stuff. And then with this participation, we were encouraged to explore more ideas of live streaming as a possibility to share what we hear at the same time, the sound, what people are listening. Because I used to feel that there's some kind of mystifying process while artists are making field recording and then do some process and then let people listen. I still I'm doing that kind of thing, but since last year, me and Kangyu, we've been regular live streaming, and this is the website that we do every Sunday. So what we do basically is live streaming at early morning at 5, and we do the live streaming for 2 hours, and then recorded live will be playback for the rest of the day. So this is kind of one day radio every Sunday. And with this project, I got to the point, some idea of improvising music thing, and I call this as a transparent music, because I've been interested in weather phenomena as a non-human musician or player, which could be interacting with other things such as landscapes or materials or even human. So weather is a kind of natural force to make interesting sound. And then I got to develop that idea with this broadcasting format. So what I'm doing basically is, after broadcasting pure sounds from somewhere outside, I'm staying at home and I'm mediating the sounds through my other sound system, and I'm trying to respond the sounds, and I try to do some kind of improvising, but at the same time some kind of duet performance. So yeah, so I call this transparent because I think it somehow reminds me of a window, for example. Window is very transparent. You can see outside through it, and you maybe you think this is transparent, but I think this framing is somehow affects what you see outside the nature. So this is kind of very a minimum but affecting factor when you observe outside. So that's what I named that transparent. So transparent music is not like expressing your musical egos, but it's more about accepting what's happening, some kind of minimum gesture to respond to it, or playing together. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is the.
Maybe that's a nice time to kind of stop and ask people to see if they have responses to that. Are we able to play anything, or is it not? I mean, that'd be kind of technically amazing. Anything that seems just to give us sort of context for what you're talking about. The live stream would be great if it's up and running, I reckon.
From just outside of my window in Jeju Island. Now it's Jeju is 7 hours ahead, so now it's in the evening. And at this time of season, there are many bush insects. So this is what you can listen now. But actually, the weather was changed very dramatically. It was really, really hot this summer, and for just last week, the temperature dropped sharply, and typically these sounds of bush insects are marking the change of season, from summer to the fall. So usually I stream this kind of sounds for an hour, and then I try to make some comments with my other instruments, normally a keyboard instrument. And I how can I get out? Yeah.
Can you stop screen sharing on there? Is that possible? No, I was. It's a bit, yeah, but I think let's have a look. I thought it might be useful just to show the equipment that you're using. Okay, so these are Raspberry Pi based stream boxes. This is a schematic. So there's a little audio card that sits on the top, and a Wi-Fi connector. And this cable here allows you to direct plug to Primo high quality but quite cheap microphones. This is one in Tanzania with James Wollstonecraft. That's an alternative technology we'll come to. Great. Okay, should we ask for others then? Okay, because time is moving on. Okay, so Dawn. Sukanta, could we ask you to, are you still with us?
Yes.
Hello, Sukanta in Kolkata. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Thanks for bearing with us. So, Sukanta, we do have the stream from Kolkata up. I'm not sure if we can play it right now, but I'm going to try. Do you want to say something about that stream and your thoughts about it, listening to it, streaming it, in the context of the Reveil broadcast, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the part of the city I live in Kolkata, it's It's a suburb city. And Calcutta, like any other city in India, it's growing very aggressively. Uh, our part, Jaipur, it's suburb anymore. And, Jaipur was known for just the university here, but and few very very small scale industry like ink making, glass making kind of industry. But from 70s, so it was basically full of marshland and those small
Sukanta,
factories. Yeah.
just hang on a minute. So we've got some distortion that's crept into the stream. My sense is that you can hear us. Is that right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so that last yeah was clearer than before. If it continues very muddy, we might need to do a bit of typing and reading out what you have to say. But try again.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, borderline. So Dawn said she understood you were talking about dressmaking.
Sorry.
Okay, so you were talking about some sort of the
Yeah, I was
area of
talking a little.
Kolkata in which the microphone is located.
Yeah.
Can you just briefly go over that again?
Shall I continue, or maybe I should stop the streaming because it's sharing
It could be the stream.
the.
Yeah, it could be
So
the
I can just stop it and
bandwidth for the stream.
Shall I do that?
Let's try now.
Yeah. Hello. Mm-hmm. Oh, hello. Hello, Brian. Can you hear me?
Okay, so Sukanta, what we propose is that
Yeah.
you use the message box to type a couple of just like almost like encapsulate a couple of thoughts about setting up the stream, which we think was the first live audio stream from South Asia. I think that's probably true. I mean, I have these amazing memories of listening to it and so forth, and I'm going to play a clip in a minute. But maybe if you could type a couple of things into the message box, we'll read them out.
Yeah, of course. But can you hear me now properly? Still there.
Yeah.
Because I switched up the stream, so it's.
There's still a lot of kind of stutter and
Okay.
and
Let's
noise.
start. Let me type.
Fantastic. And while you do that, I'm try and play a recording from Daybreak in Kolkata a bit earlier this year. move on? Okay, so Sukanta, thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah.
We have 5 minutes left. We're going to move on to Daisuke, who's at the Cyber Forest program at the University of Tokyo. Let me change the audio. Daisuke, hello.
Hello, Grant and everyone. I'm Daisuke Shimotoku of the Cyber Forest Project, the University of Tokyo. I've prepared my slideshow, so I'll move on to it. So, can I use that?
Good to go.
Okay. So we belong to the University of Tokyo. Studies in the field of environment and information communication technology. Could you mute your microphone, please? And we have 8 sites. We have 8 observatories. Some are in the virgin forest, which have no commercial electricity and no internet network, so that we use satellite networks and these fuel cells. Or some have the commercial electricity and the commercial network, so that sites are easy to maintain. And those are shown in circles, and the virgin difficult sites are shown in stars. And we also provide the archiving since 1993. And now, thanks to the archiving, we can share the sounds easily. Now we share the sound of the yesterday. It is the 150 kilometers from northwest of Tokyo.
Yeah, so just to clarify what that bit. So yesterday in Shiga Heights, north of Tokyo, there were 2 owls calling to each other in heavy rain, and I heard them, and I sent an email to Kaoru Saito and said, I'm listening to these owls, do you know what they are? And he came back and said, it's funny because this other guy from Pioneer Electronics just emailed me and said he's listening to the owls too. So there was a funny kind of conjunction, a different kind of time, different distance scales, or of these 2 birds clearly engaged with each other and oblivious presumably to us.
Yes, exactly. We share that time afterwards. So Grant and Haruo and Kaoru Saito heard that sound simultaneously. After that, today I hear that sound and found that jet blast interrupts all the singing. I heard like that. So thanks to the archiving, we can share such things. So I felt that it's an archiving power. So this is the power of archiving that we have done since 1993. And thanks to the archiving, we can do such things. You know that Japanese people enjoy hanami. That is enjoying cherry blossoms brewing, or the changing of the color of the leaves. So we can roll back the ears and check when the color of the leaves started. This is the record of the technology observation website. at the University of Tokyo Forest, and you can see the changes like this. And also we are interested in making the software to enjoy the sorry, maybe.
It's okay. We're trying to get that owl, but it's
Okay.
it's eluding us. We can hear you fine, and I was trying
Okay.
to turn you down a bit and turn up the owl.
Okay.
It's flipping. So
So
we might have to just believe in it. I think we've got witnesses, and move on to Glenn Bolter and Andrew
Okay.
Deacon in Cumbria.
Okay, please. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Daisuke.
Okay.
Glenn and Andrew, we have a tiny window left.
Okay, we'll try and be really quick. Let's share the screen. Okay, so we're from Octopus. We're based in Cumbria, which is in the sort of far northwest of the UK. We're in Barrow-in-Furness, which is quite an unusual landscape. It's a mixture of sort of hard industry. It's when Trident submarines are manufactured, and sort of stunning nature. There's lots of nature reserves, islands, an amazing place to visit. But people don't really. People go to the Lake District, which is close by, and kind of ignore Barrow. So one of our aims has always been to sort of get people interested in Barrow, get them listening, visiting. We've had over 200 artists come and work in Barrow since we started in 2009, and we've always had a bit of a focus on broadcasting. So the 2 SoundCamps that we've run have really fitted into that well. And we're just going to do a really quick 2-minute overview of the 2 camps. I'll just hand over to Andrew.
Okay, so like Grant, I thought the Raspberry Pi then it disappeared. The first camp we did was meant to be nice and sunny and full of tweety birds and a pleasure. In fact, we encountered the typical Cumbrian weather. It rained, it was windy, it was cold, it was wet. But we met in our headquarters in Barrow Park. With a group of people, and the focus, we like to work around the streaming event by having an event over 2 days, and the focus for this one was around soundscape recording, and we worked with 2 artists, called Lee Patterson and Helmut Lepke, and we introduced people to techniques of sound recording, and then we went out to Walney Island, which is an island about 3 or 4 miles from where we are, and like I say, it was windy, it was wet, it was cold, it was extreme sound recording really, and it forced us to think and ask a lot of questions about the way we listen to the environment. We came back wet, cold, hungry to the house, and stayed up most of the night trying to get dry, trying to get warm, but also preparing for the Dawn Chorus broadcast by putting microphones all around the house into the park, and we managed to broadcast the Dawn Chorus on time, and it was really successful. And then we also made a piece of live radio later on in the morning and broadcast that live as well from the recordings we'd made on Walney Island. And this was a very different experience to the SoundCamp we did the year after, which was in a town about 4 miles away.
We have about a minute left, guys.
Okay. The real difference with this one, apart from the weather was much better, as you can see, was that instead of recording the soundscape using technology, we were looking at other ways of recording it using text in particular, so writing about the soundscape rather than recording it with audio. And we lived in a building which allowed us to socialise a lot, and we went on long walks and made word recordings, written recordings of what we were listening to. And we used Etherpad as well, which Grant had introduced us to. to sort of consolidate that writing and give us something that we can refer to back later. It's a very different experience to the previous one. The really important thing that linked the two together was that we were actively encouraging people to listen throughout the 2 days of each event.
I think that's probably going to be a prerequisite with those texts and sort of transferring sounds into language, and we're cutting into the next person's presentation. So can I say thank you very much to everyone for taking part, for the audience to coming, and we're around to field questions in the course of the day. Thank you everyone very much.